Describe the track,
Oh,
kind of like what we used to do.
10 points.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Tonight we are at the Miami or Homestead Miami Super Speedway, or at least it's going to run like that tonight, as these guys are going to be doing a little bit of pack racing on a 1.5 mile oval. Should be pretty interesting. Looks like we got about 10, 11 guys out there right now, so a nice little field. And these cars are going to have plenty of room to for one pass, for two, go 3, 4 wide, which you've seen these guys do plenty of times this year, and certainly be grouped up together. So as long as nobody catches any kind of damage or anything like that, they'll be able to keep with the pack. So should be pretty good out there. Joining me in the booth, as always, is the only Jimmy Covert. Jimmy, how's it going tonight, buddy?
Oh, not too bad tonight, Carl. Just getting ready to sit down, enjoy a race here. Watch this great show these guys put on for us here every other Monday night, and see what kind of racing they can do, being so close together tonight.
Absolutely, cars looking really nice, really shiny here under the lights here at Homestead, Miami. Even that number 8, your points leader, Kevin Foster. Still looking for some major sponsorship on that car, and you figure he's going to be in the points lead once again after this race, unless something really bad happens, and that'll be about 2/3 of the way through the season at this point. So you figure somebody's going to pop up and throw some logos on that car for him. But in the meantime, maybe it's the reason he's so fast out there is those logos aren't holding him up at all.
Well, when he first brought that car to the track, he didn't have any logo on there whatsoever, and he actually won a few races. He hasn't been so lucky in the past couple, so maybe he needs to go back to his starter car.
I mean, I've always gone by the motto "look fast, drive fast," but Kevin has certainly proven that wrong this year, as none of his cars have exactly looked fast, but he's been out there doing it, and he is going to be doing a little bit of double duty for us tonight, as he is your in-race reporter for tonight. So we'll let him get his qualifying in, and then we will go to him and let him give you a little bit of a preview of the track here tonight. But Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and give us a rundown of the practice results?
Yeah, so far tonight, the guys out there, getting some drafting practice in, running 3 wide. But as of the just practice results, you had Paul Owens on top with Dane Simpson, John Crane, Abby, Paul Butler, Jimmy Watkins, Tim Thompson, Matt Crockett, and Kevin Foster was near the back, along with Adam Jones. So we'll see what Kevin could do here all by himself as he's out on the track right now to get into his qualifying.
Yep, as usual, these guys will get to qualifying laps. So you see Kevin really trying to keep it up at the wall, which these guys are going to all do that to try and get the maximum speed out of these cars to start that first lap. And be interesting to see if these guys even do that through the first lap and try and really maximize the speed and really give it everything on that second lap and, kind of sacrifice that first lap.
Yeah, it's with the MX5s that they get a little faster, I think, after the first lap. Get them tires warmed up so they will actually stick to the track a little bit better. Sometimes the guys will run like a little higher run line coming out of turn 4. That way they can maximize their speed. But definitely see here those people are laying down some times. Matt Crockett first one in with a 42.6.
Yeah, we talked about it earlier with Kevin Foster being on top of the points. He comes into this race as we start the second half of the season with a 21-point lead over Jeremy Lyon Watkins, Tim Thompson 36 back, Paul Butler in fourth, 38 back. Chris Hamilton doesn't look like he is here tonight. He is 47 back in fifth. And Paul Owens, who was your fast time in practice, he is 48 back. So certainly plenty of time left in the season as we are just starting the second half of the season with this race right here. So 4 races left in the season, and it's just going to take some screw ups by Kevin Foster and some good races by one driver in particular to start running him down. And you've been seeing that little by little by Jeremy Lyon Watkins in these last couple of races.
Yeah, Jeremy's just been real consistent and staying out of trouble and being in the right spot at the right time. It looks like Foster's coming down pit lane there. Looks like he is finished. So his time wasn't probably the greatest, but definitely was able to get in there. And this is going to be some close pack racing, as it looks like currently he sits in 6th position.
Yeah, obviously with pack racing, there'll be plenty of time to move up through the field or move back through the field if you're not doing it correctly. But we will go ahead and bring in Kevin Foster here, get a ride along with him, and let him take you through the track. Kevin, you're in the booth here. How's it going tonight, buddy?
It's going great.
All right. Well, looks like you got a little bit of practice in, a little bit of qualifying in. So why don't you go ahead and take us around this track here about Homestead, Miami?
All right, so we're leaving pit road here. Just flat out, get up through the gears here. Don't hit the rev limiter. Keep the steering inputs nice and smooth, and blend onto the track. And then right about this light here, you go in the high gear, and that's where you're going to stick it. For this out lap for qualifying, you definitely, my perspective is you just want to ride the top lane, try to build as much momentum as you can up here. Don't hit the wall. And then for your one lap of qualifying, what you want to do is you just want to hug the bottom as close as you can. Approaching speeds of 130 miles an hour as we dive off into turn 1 here. Car does want to get a little free when tires are cold. That's to be expected. But in the pack, we'll be going probably 135 or so, and cars stick pretty good once the tires are warmed up. And just hold it around the bottom. Same thing down here in 3 and 4. Wrap the bottom. I don't know if you want to be right on the white line. Gets a little bumpy down there. And wrap it around and hold it to the floorboard, and hopefully you're on the top of the leaderboard. And that's it.
So, short of the fact that this is an oval being 1.5 miles, what makes this track different than some of the other 1.5 mile tracks that are tri oval or quad oval? Short of this one having 2 sweeping turns compared to the other ones having 4 or 3 turns.
Well, this track definitely is abrasive, so it's going to definitely chew up the right side tires. You have progressive banking on the Miami Homestead Speedway here. So the top line, yes, it may not be faster, but yes, you will definitely save your tires. So that may be something later in the run you want to move up. Just try to conserve some tires and be there at the end.
All right. Well, before we let you out of here, just in case you guys go green all the way to the end, we'll let you get your shout outs right now. So anybody you want to thank or shout out while we're in here?
Shout out to my mom, family watching, my wife, Lucia, love you. And don't worry, we'll be in victory lane.
All right. You heard it. Calling his shots already. The points leader, Kevin Foster, not making any friends out there tonight. I'm sure he's going to be looking his way to get to the front right away. So good luck out there tonight, buddy.
All right, you guys can pull me in anytime. I don't care.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right.
All right, that was the number 8, Kevin Foster, going to be starting here in 6th place. So as these guys are gridding up here, why don't we take a look at the qualifying results?
All right, so for starting tonight, it looks like Adam Jones, he has the pole tonight with a 42.376. Outside row would be Dane Simpson and Jeremy Lionel Watkins, Paul Butler, Tim Thompson, Kevin Foster that we just spoke to in 6th place with Matt Crockett in 7th, John Crane in 8th, Abby's in 9th, and Paul Owens is in 10th. So small field tonight, but definitely going to be a lot of action. Close interaction with each other, so these guys will always keep us entertained, I am sure.
Yeah, it looks like everybody through 9th place put in a time, and everybody within about 0.4 of a second. Paul Owens in 10th place did not put in a time, so not sure if he just elected to start from the back or if he had a little bit of a rough qualifying effort. But either way, yeah, I mean, a 10-car field, that's a strong showing for these guys, and if you turned into any of our previous broadcasts, it gets really interesting really quick. These guys are not afraid to go 3 wide. This track, as you can see, is wide enough that they can handle 4 wide if necessary. So I'm excited. I'm ready. 60 laps on tap tonight. Certainly going to be some pit stops. Could be some pit strategy. Pace car is in. We're getting ready to go green here at Miami Homestead, and green flag is in the air. Adam Jones, Dane Simpson lead the field down into turn 1.
And Dane got a good jump on the outside, and he has a nose over Adam, so we'll see how long that upper side can last. So it looks like Paul Butler goes to the outside, making it 3 wide, or just maybe go into the back to be a little safer from the start.
Yeah, as we said, this thing is going to drive a bit like a super speedway. These guys are going to be tucked up, pack racing most of the race. So, you know, wouldn't be surprised if we see some guys, you know, maybe pulling the Paul Butler right there and just kind of falling towards the back, maybe letting some carnage happen. And the other Paul in the field, Paul Owens, started last. He is already up to 5th place, so you can see how quickly he can move from the back to the front in this race as we get going here. And obviously already 3 wide. And, you know, Foster even looking to make it 4 wide already. So these guys not wasting any time. Doesn't matter if there's 60 laps or 6 laps, they are ready to go.
Oh, definitely. Paul Owens likes to be out front. I'm kind of curious if, you know, last race we were kind of commenting on Paul Owens as, you know, he was one of the faster guys on the track, and then he was holding people up, but they were just out there having a good time. There was no arguing involved at all. These guys were just having way too much fun, enjoying the company, and just enjoying their evening.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and go on the other side of that and say that everybody was lying, including Paul, and that they were really mad at him to create a little drama here. As a little drama by the 8 as he gets kind of squeezed up into the wall there. So the 8 getting into the wall, see if he can hold on and keep on to that draft as they're 4 wide coming out of 2.
Yeah, that's just insanely crazy. These guys are just going for it. You know, no holds barred from the start to the end, and the continuum battle, you know, scraping the wall or not scraping the wall, as Kevin, you know, got back down to the lower side. And now he's gonna look back high to hopefully catch. He got the draft there with Paul Owens, so he's good to go.
Everybody dicing and bouncing back and forth, looking for position. Simpson tried to look and get up towards the lead there for a little bit, but it just wasn't enough. Now it looks like Adam Jones for the first time moves out of line, moves up, and maybe to block that upper line a little bit, as he's got the 71 of Jeremy Lyon Watkins tucked right into the back of him since the start of this race, and they've been known to work together before. Getting a little close there with Dane Simpson and Paul Butler, and you got to watch out because these cars do like to bring in our friend Netcode if you get a little bit too close. So good job by those guys not getting too close to each other and creating any kind of incidents. But right now it looks like PB&J, Paul Butler and Paul Owens hooking up together. See if these guys can make a run at these 2 leaders of Jones and Lyon Watkins.
Yeah, I think in order to get that outside line to work a little bit better, I think Paul Butler might just need to come down just a little bit, grab a little bit of that side draft, kind of help tow him along as he's getting a push from Paul Owens.
Yeah, you wonder how much these guys can push without the temperatures starting to creep up there, as looks like Butler will pull alongside of Adam Jones and briefly have the lead going into turn 1 there. So this outside line is fast enough to get up alongside. Still not fast enough to clear and get into the lead, as it looks like Jones peeking out once again. Just trying to slow down that outside line, as really the inside line is the only one that's formed up right now. The outside line is kind of bouncing back and forth between three lanes wide and 2 lanes, but 77 in the lead going into turn 3. Little bump by Owens there at the wrong time. It's going to drop them back a little bit. Foster looking to go 3 wide, whether he has help or not, as Crane will jump in behind the 8 right now. And now we are bumper to bumper, 3 lanes wide.
These guys will not cease them, you know, just keep you in suspense, you know. Are they gonna hit? Are they gonna make that move stick? You know, these guys just keep going at it. It's just, you would think this is the end of the race, you know, and it's only 7 laps in already. And Paul Butler, it looks like he did take that lead, as looks like Adam got pushed to the high side there a little bit and falling back. He might be falling back to pick up Dane, or yeah, Dane.
It looked like he went up high to possibly block that lane that was coming on the outside, but he went all the way to the top, and that lane was going through the middle. So give Paul Butler the lap lead right there, as they will make it back through. And yeah, wondering if that 46 was maybe just falling back there to kind of fall back a little bit and keep it a little safer, or possibly playing the fuel game here, as you know, with 60 laps, if these guys end up keeping it green, It doesn't look like they're going to the way they're dancing around out there. But if these guys were to keep it green the entire way, fuel strategy is really going to come into play. And if you're out front leading this entire time, you are burning the most fuel out there. So maybe a bit of strategy as the 46 drops towards the back.
Yeah, I haven't known Adam to strategize for fuel very much, unless it's coming down towards the end of a race. But he's one that likes to be out in the front and lead the pack. So I was kind of a little surprised that he dropped back that far. But as you could tell, he's already working that outside, bringing Dane with him as he comes along. Kevin Foster as they're 3 wide. So basically, they're in. Just went into turn 3, coming out of 4 here, and they're 3 wide.
And maybe another reason dropping back there is just try and test out and try the different lines, see what works. As you see he is hanging with these guys without somebody tucked up right behind him, as Simpson tries to catch up there and tries to be the helping hand. But clearly the 46 has speed, and no shocker there, as he is able to catch up and keep up with these guys pretty easily. But we are 3 wide. Essentially in a battle for first, second, third, and fourth.
Yeah,
and now it looks like we're going to be going 4 wide. Paul Owens to the top. And you can see there's plenty of room. I mean, technically, I guess these guys can go 5 wide. And really, with this series, I would not put it past him at this point. As Owens not giving up out there. He wants that little bit of side draft. He wants to get out there. And just about looking 5 wide there for a second. But we're 4 wide for third place right now.
You don't see this very often, cars run, and drivers running 4 wide. I know there's a couple places, the super speedways with like the Xfinity cars or the next gen cars, maybe at Talladega, where they can do it pretty comfortably. But this is quite amazing.
Yeah, I'm waiting for our little telemetry that shows you who's in first, second, third up there. I'm waiting for it to just shut down and just say, F it, I'm out. Because it's going to be changing every second, every lap from first all the way down to 10th. I mean, these guys are just all over the place, back and forth, battling each other. Looks like Adam Jones back up to the lead and back down to the bottom in front of Line Watkins. So he found a way to go to the back and right back to the front. So, maybe a little bit of strategy for later on in the race. But this battle up front is not dying out. Paul Butler to the outside, and we are still 3 wide, and it looks like we're 3 wide too deep now.
Somebody we haven't talked about too much right now, and he's just hanging in the back, is Matt Crockett. And he just kind of joined this series, came back with Core 2 weeks ago, and I'm sure he's seeing these guys just battle it out and just maybe just taking the safer route, just hang out in the back. And he still has the tail end of the draft, so he's not out of it by no means, but definitely in the catbird seat, waiting for a big one to happen.
The intervals from these guys at the start-finish line is pretty incredible, as I think there was about a 100th of a second in between first, second, and third on that time by, as first and second were pretty much in a dead heat, with third place just 100th of a second back, and you see still 3 wide for first, 3 wide for fourth, and that can change at any moment, as you see these guys coming right back to the line. And once again, pretty much a dead heat at the line. So looks like Owens going for another bold move in between Foster and Crane. Makes it work to get around Foster. Still 3 wide on the outside of Crane. So he is certainly working on some moves right now. And these guys are buzzing through these laps pretty quickly, as we are already 14 laps in. So not sure what the fuel mileage is. Didn't get a chance to take a look at that. Little bit of bump in there between Crane and looked like it was Jones that got together. Everybody keeps it straight, so good job by those guys right there, because that could have been a big one here at Homestead, Miami.
Yeah, they definitely were able to check up, keep their cars collected, and keep this train moving. So 3 wide per second, as Paul Butler is still in the lead, as Jeremy Line Watkins is now on the inside of Paul Butler, coming out of turn 2, going down the backstretch.
Yeah, Line Watkins has yet to lead a lap to my knowledge, and he's going to want to lead at least one just to get that bonus point. just in case Foster, who I believe has already led a lap, got a bonus point. He doesn't want Foster to get any kind of points ahead of him just from bonuses, and then he can fight it out with him on the track for a track position. But right now, it looks like he is still without a lap ahead,
Oh, that
as
was close.
again, pretty much a dead heat. But it
Whoa!
looks like we will have our first caution of the night. And that one happening right on the front stretch. Looks like maybe a bad bump from the 54. And we talked about Crockett trying to stay back and stay clean. As soon as he starts passing people,
Ooh, and the
he gets involved in
points
it.
leader
And
was involved in that as well.
Foster getting a big piece of that. Yeah, so it looks like 3 cars involved, the 08, the 8, and the 10 all involved. And for some of those guys, for sure, this will certainly be... Oof, that will certainly be some fast repairs on tap, as looks like Owens is going to accept responsibility for that. And yeah, it was just a bump draft kind of gone wrong is what it looked like to me.
Yeah, just a little bit, at the wrong time, and if it's depending on the experience of the driver, if you can handle that type of move. So, maybe just a little bit too much there. And obviously did the sportsman thing and, fessed up to it. So these guys will give them enough. I'm sure they're going to see some pit stops here as they'll come down and for some fuel and stuff like that. So we'll see who comes in, who does not, who stays out. And also some people will come in for their fast repairs, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think you can consider that on Owens for essentially hooking the 08, but it looked like the field was kind of catching up and Constantine in a little bit, and the 08 was checking up as well. So it wasn't maybe the cleanest bump draft. It was in the side a little bit, but it was also the 08 checking up. So just a tough situation for everybody involved right there, and it sucks to see 3 guys getting some pretty decent damage this early in the race, but it happens. It's to be expected here when you're running this close to everybody in the field. Not just a couple guys. So interesting to see if these guys go with a fuel-only strategy or if they think tires are going to be playing a factor here. As we take a look at Paul Butler here, don't see the car going up at all. You see the 05 getting in and out before him. And not sure if I've seen any kind of tires going on the 77. It seemed like a pretty long pit stop, but I didn't see that car go up on jacks at all. So looks like a lot of these guys electing for just fuel only.
Yeah, so definitely a interesting strategy on some. If they think those tires are gonna hold out, as there's not too much wear on the tires, but they do heat up. So I guess we'll see.
Well, looking like at least the I want to say the top. Looks like the top 7 did not take any tires. Looks like they only took fuel only. But what is interesting to me is the different times in the pits. And it looks like maybe Butler, since he fell back a bit here, is electing to come back in and maybe get some tires this time. But it looks like a lot of different times, anywhere from, as you can see, 11 seconds all the way down to 18 seconds for your, or actually, sorry, 11 seconds all the way down to 22 seconds for your slowest one. And if all these guys were just taking fuel on that and it's taken that long, it's going to be really interesting if this thing stretches out and they need to come back in the pits to take more fuel, by how much these guys have been battling for the lead or just hanging back and drafting, because a couple seconds here or there on pit road is huge on the track.
Yeah, like I said, we were talking about in one of our previous races how pit strategy is equally as important as being on the track, where you can gain position and time, especially on a green flag pit stops. But these guys here is showing basically, everybody's going to come in and get fuel. Now it's just whether tires and track position from the start. And I'm not quite sure how these newer people that got newer tires are going to fare out to people that just took fuel. So we'll find out.
We're back green. We'll quick talk to Kevin Foster as the field catching back up together. Kevin, how does it seem like the field is holding up in regards to tire wear?
Well, tire wear is good. I mean, that first dent there, we only lost 1% on the right front, so tire wear is not an issue.
So it seems like the only issue then is just kind of avoiding each other, and unfortunately, you couldn't avoid that wreck that just happened there. But I mean, you guys not wasting any time going 3-4 wide right from the rip, and it seems like that's going to be the case the rest of the night.
Yeah, that's going to be the case. Big pack racing, and just try to keep our heads on straight, and just make the right moves when they come. And also, we can. Someone didn't pass me. I got a black flag.
We'll go ahead and clear that up for this series here because it looked like you guys had some trouble catching back up to the field.
Yes, sir.
So,
But
yeah,
yeah,
just
we're just you know, in line here behind Dane, and we're just gonna hopefully get around Adam here and make our way to the front. We led a couple laps there out front, but it's gonna be interesting. Got a long ways to go though.
all right, well, we'll let you go because I know it's difficult driving around here 3 wide, and it looked like you were looking 4 wide there. So definitely don't want to be any kind of issues here, any kind of commentator's curse. So good luck out there, buddy. Keep it clean and safe.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Once again, that was your NRS reporter, Kevin Foster. And it's certainly different being able to talk to these guys during racing here. And you can kind of do that with these guys as looks like getting a little rough here again. But I mean, it's it's essentially super speedway racing. You still need to really keep track of what's going on and really be vigilant. But good to at least be able to talk to these guys during the race to get pick his brain and here tire wear doesn't seem like it's really an issue at all. So maybe if guys are taking tires, it's just kind of a comfort thing.
Yeah, I think it's just a comfort thing. You know, having fresh tires, you know, on a lot of tracks means a lot, and it might not be the greatest advantage, and it might be just something that if this was a really long race, it would pay off in the end. But like Kevin was saying, there's no this is essentially kind of like a super speedway race where the tires don't get much wear. So we'll see how these guys fare out here, as it looks like Dane Simpson is now to the front here, as Tim and Adam get slightly together, as Adam now falling back and going a little high.
It looks like that really slowed up the 46, or maybe he just got out of it just to save it there. But Tim Thompson credited with leading that lap right there. Doing a pretty good job out here right now. A lot of these guys, you see a lot of the sparks flying off these cars going in through the corners, and we do see everybody's mirrors still intact. So I guess it's a good thing here as we are 24 laps into this race.
Yeah, they don't seem to be venturing up too high to get up to that high line. Wow, as Paul Owens just cut off Adam Jones there with a very slim margin to fit in between him and Dane Simpson. But Paul Owens is definitely looking for a way around, and looks like they're going to go 3 wide and split Dane down the middle. As now they're 4 wide.
4 wide as Adam makes a big move to try and get back up to the front. He is back up alongside the 05, looking for the lead as Simpson maybe peeks out to the outside, looking to make it 3 wide once again. He's got Kevin Foster right behind him, looking to push him.
Yeah, and
yeah, I mean, everybody, it looks like they're still back in this field here, with Crockett being the only one that is, looks like 2 laps down at this point. So if we get some more cautions, obviously that can change, and he can get his laps back, as he is the only one that is not on the lead lap right now. So it's it's a shame to see that, and I'm wondering if that is because maybe he came in to get those repairs and didn't have the fast repair checked, because that can certainly send you back there. But we're about to go 3 wide once again for the lead as Owens looks to the outside of Jones, with Thompson just holding strong down there on the inside.
Yeah, Matt likes to conserve his fast repairs, so, you know, maybe when he took the initial damage, he didn't think it was going to be too detrimental, and that he could just hold on to his fast repair for a later time, as these guys are slowly closing down John Crane, so I'm not sure what happened to him either, but he's definitely looking to go a lap down here soon, as these guys are. Tracking them down, as Crane's just exiting too. So, but yeah, I mean, everybody looks like they're still back in this field here, with Crockett being the only one that is not on the lead lap right now. So it's definitely be watching him to see how he handles when if these guys catch up to him.
Yeah, we'll try and get the track map up here for you guys so you can see where the 11 and the 10 are in representation to the rest of the field. As you see, we do have, looks like everybody in the field here in this grouping except for the 10 and the 11. And you see the 11 pretty much the entire corner ahead of this field right now, but that's going to close up pretty soon with these guys drafting, and he has no help out there. And the 10 right now, as these guys are exiting 4, he is just entering 3 right now, so he's a pretty good distance back. Obviously not going to be any kind of drafting partners for him as well. So both these guys looking for a yellow. Right now it is Owens looking for the lead on the inside. Getting down to the inside of the 46. Had him almost cleared coming out of 2. He's got some help by the 05 of Thompson, the 71 of Line Watkins, and the 77 of Butler on the inside. But that second line not going away with Jones, Foster, and Simpson on the outside. Victor just kind of hanging back there, I think, at this point. You know, he's already involved in the run record. It looks like he's used his fast repair, so maybe just playing a little bit safe. Just kind of keeping in tow with this draft here, but doesn't want to see any kind of other issues come up with him.
Yeah, I mean, there's a certain time, and, you know, we're just about to hit the halfway mark here, so you know, not having a fast repair in your pocket, you know, so you can come in and fix your repairs quickly, you know, just kind of hanging out and just kind of you seen how fast, you know, Adam was able to go to the back to the front, so this, you know, it's not like it's a impossible task. It just might get a little bit harder where people will defend a little bit harder when it comes down to the closing laps.
It looks like the 54 is not content being behind the 46 for sure. He will get back to the lead, getting some help by the 8. They will clear the 46. See if they move down at all. It looks like the 8 has moved the 54 out of the way a bit there, as he's going to go up to the high line, fall back a bit. So I'm not sure if he got a little loose going into 1 by maybe a little sideways bump draft, but looks like once again we're going to go 4 wide for the lead. These guys have just brass ones out there. We are coming right now to the line to make it halfway through this race. That's right, we're only halfway through this race.
Halfway.
These guys just don't care. They're out here to race, and damn it, they're going to race for 60 laps.
Yeah, they're not like, hey, let's just chill and race the last 5 laps. They're gonna race all 60, and these guys just keep it going. This is pretty insane, actually. You can't even say who's on first or who's first, because I think it changes every lap, Carl.
Yeah, this is pretty much like a Laurel and Hardy skit at this point, and maybe you know, if we end up running these things for another season at some point, we institute a you know, figure out a way to see how many passes these guys make and give them a bonus point for every pass they make, and they'll end up making more bonus points than they will race points, because these guys are just back to front, front to back, sideways. Doesn't matter. These guys are just clearly having a blast out here, and it's a blast watching them.
Make it a challenge, you know, go to the lead, go to the back, and can you get back to the lead? Every time you do it, you'll get 1 bonus point.
Yeah, I don't know if these guys have a little side bet going on of, you know, somebody maybe in the Discord with them, clocking them to see how long it actually takes them to go back to front, and everybody's getting a go at it. But looks like the 77 maybe having a go once again with the help from his fellow Paul on the outside. But now fellow Paul moves to the outside, maybe to get a little bit better of a run. Not sure what he's looking to do here, but now he's going to go to the outside of Butler, as Owens now getting off the gas a little bit, maybe just a little tentative after causing that first wreck. Doesn't want to see these guys get involved in another one, so maybe a smart move there backing out.
Yeah, as these guys, you know, we have some rules in play, and as you know, if they cause an accident, they get an EOL, and you know, the next one they lose a lap, don't they?
Yep, next one they would lose a lap, and then the third one they are DQ'd, so maybe just a little tentativeness by the 54, but really kind of shocked how little these guys are actually closing on the 11 of John Crane, let alone the 10 of Matt Crockett right now. Looks like the 10 of Matt Crockett maybe losing a little bit more, and maybe he does have a little bit of damage yet. Maybe he didn't use that fast repair. but these guys aren't really closing on the 11 that much, and it's kind of shocking because these guys are all grouped together, drafting each other, but maybe that little bit of side draft off each other and as much battling as they're doing is actually hurting them a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely not helping them, I don't think, in a big case. I mean, it's for Metler, or not Metler, for Crockett and Crane. It definitely benefits them to see these guys continue to battle as they could possibly cause a yellow. So uh, I'm sure Crane's like, keep back there, battling, cause a wreck, so I can get around, catch back up to you guys.
I mean, certainly a lonely race for the 11 and 10 right now, as they are obviously, as you can see by the track map, off and out there by themselves. These guys are pretty much just all holding hands together and skipping along through the track here, nice and daintily. But I can't picture being these guys and being out there 60 laps just dodging and darting and I guess using the dodgeball movie quote, dodged up, dick dive and dodge, trying to get around each other because they're doing it lap in, lap out, every corner, and it's pretty much been like this all season. But it still shocks me every race that we see it.
These cars are just so close, no matter really the driver that's behind them, and especially to add the draft to help maintain. It looks like maybe, Paul Owen's going back there to maybe push Abby along and this time not get him sideways.
Yeah, certainly he jumped out of line there before any kind of incidents. But yeah, I mean it's what we kind of look forward to by setting up this series with the Mazda Oval series. Obviously these Mazdas are built for road course
Oh,
racing.
that was a
They're built
shot.
for um, built for going both ways and not necessarily for high speeds. But we wanted to give these guys a little bit of a test, a little bit of a challenge by putting them on ovals and a place where they really can't get away from each other. And I mean, right there you see it. Everybody's on screen at the same time, other than the 11 and 10, and nobody is getting away from anybody. Seems like it's settled down maybe a little bit, and I know I'm might as well just knock on wood by saying that right now because I'm sure by the next turn they'll be 3-4 wide again. But yeah, I mean they're cruising again through these laps as we're coming to take the start of lap 38 right now. So all these moves are nice and fun, and these guys I'm sure are having a good time right now. But another 10 laps or so, it's going to be go time, and the whole friendship and letting everybody get to your inside, get to your outside is going to go by the wayside pretty quick.
Yeah, when it comes down to finishing the race and trying to get on that podium and possibly get that win, these guys are elbows out, so I'm sure there'll be blocks to be made, and I'm sure that caution that John Crane's hoping for might just happen. So if he can keep his car out in front of these guys for another 21 laps, he could find himself right back up in the pack again.
Yeah, certainly both those guys really desperately looking for a caution, especially Matt Crockett as he is 2 laps down, so he would at least get 1 lap back with the lucky dog, and then hopefully looking for another maybe late caution to get him back on the lead lap so he can make a charge once again. Crane still on the back end of that lead lap, so at least he would be able to join the field right away. And it wouldn't be a shocker if a yellow comes out with these guys as you see Owen sneaking on the outside of the 8 car, and I guess that car doesn't have that much paint on it, so he's got a little extra room to get to the outside of him.
So surprised somebody hasn't gone ventured to the wall and tried to remove the right side mirror to maybe increase the arrow on the car.
I'm surprised these guys haven't bumped into each other side by side and taken that mirror off as close as these guys have gotten, as Owen's making another drastic move to the outside as he's looking to go 3 wide for the lead right now. Thompson just holding his own, staying on that bottom, really trying to control this race from the bottom, and looks like Jones is just trying to get a little bit of side draft and kind of be there every time as they cross the line, and maybe kind of testing out where he needs to make that move as right there that was Jones by I don't know, probably a 10,000th of a second. They're that close out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's the bottom line is probably the easier of all the lines to kind of just stick to and drive around like you're driving down the highway. But you know, using your angles and draft and stuff, it's just giving Adam just enough right now to, you know, beat him out by the start finish line. So is the bottom really where you want to need to be, or is Tim going to need to be a little more defensive and, you know, kind of slide up a little bit, kind of negate Adam's run? As again, Adam just crosses the finish line by a bumper.
Yeah, I mean it's a situation where the lone line is technically the fastest line. It's it's the shortest way around the track, but because of the side draft and because of how much speed you can gain off the side draft, that's where that second line is really coming into play, and that's where you see Adams getting that little bit of side draft through 4 and getting a really good run out of the corner. So I almost think if you're Tim Thompson here, the way he has to defend is essentially giving Jones the lead coming out of the corner, at least going through the corner, so he can be the one side drafting down the front stretch from the inside line to get that run and down to the down to the start finish line. Because if he is in the lead, Jones is just going to kind of reel him in unless he can either push him up the track a little bit and get him out of that draft, or maybe dive down to the bottom without scrubbing off too much speed and get down below that apron to keep him off of that side draft.
Yeah, I mean, there, you know, the other thing is when it comes down to that last lap, you know, right now Adam has a little bit of help, you know, with Paul Butler behind him. But what's Paul gonna do? Is he gonna try to make a, you know, maneuver to go outside and take away Adam's help, you know, to try to get, you know, the best finish he can get for the night?
You see right there, it looks like the 8 and 77 actually got together net code wise. They didn't make a touch, but you can see the 77 got a little out of shape there from the 8. There's probably about a foot in between those guys, but again, you get that close and netcode can come into play pretty quickly, and it could possibly ruin your night if you're the 8 car, if he's used his fast repair already. So got to be really careful and make sure you get this thing to the end and then fight for the positions at the end.
I kind of wish like netcode was more like the bumpers at a bowling lane. You know, you put them up for your kids to keep the ball and down down the track. Too bad it wasn't like that. Instead of knocking cars loose and making them wreck.
Yeah, exactly. As it looks like we're about to go 4 wide again. It looked like the 54 was about to help out the 77 as the 77 comes down pretty abruptly there to get down and maybe block off the 8, but it looked like the 54 was going to help out the 77 and then last second jump to the top to try and make it 4 wide. And again, it's still, it looks like the 77 getting on the inside there, the 46, and the 46 dropping back a bit now, but that 05 and 77 are working pretty nicely on the bottom, and Simpson and Vishwavasaram right behind them are just kind of content where they are right now.
Yeah, they're just holding that bottom line. Like I said, nice and easy. Just kind of there. You don't have to. You're not trying to bounce around and possibly get in the side of somebody. So, you know, it's just being content as there's still only there's 14 laps remaining. You know, so it's not going to take too long for these to go. I would imagine some of these guys are going to start making more moves. I'd say around 5 laps to go.
You see the 46 once again testing how quick he can go from the back to the front as he goes up there 3 wide. And the 77 goes up there, get a little side draft off of him. That allows the 05 to clear for a second. And we're about to have our second caution of the night.
Oh.
Pretty late here as well. As by the time we restart here, we're going to have about 10 laps to go. Let's see what happened here. If there was another bad bump draft.
I think I came up. I don't know.
Looks like the 8 and the 46 got together, and the 46 then come down, tagged the back end of Paul Butler, which then collected the 54 of Paul Owens as Paul Owens, Paul Butler, and Adam Jones had heavy damage from that incident.
Yep. We'll have to take a look at that again if we can take a look at it from the rear chase view of the 46 to see if it was the 46 coming down or if it was the 8 car coming up. as we take a look at them coming out of turn 4 here. And a real shame, especially for the 54. He was trying some crazy maneuvers out there, but he was keeping it off of everybody. And at the one point where he is in the back, he ends up going all the way to the back by another wreck there, and that was definitely on the 8 car there coming up out of the corner. So that wreck will be on the 8 car. He'll get the EOL, and not for nothing, that's the kind of things that Line Watkins wants to see, because along with that EOL, when you cause a caution, the first one is an EOL and you get a 1-point penalty. Second one caused is a 1-lap penalty and 5 points. So, Line Watkins is certainly liking that that the 8 car getting some penalties right there, both to the end of the field and via points. But the two guys that are liking this the most are the 11 and the 10, as they will be able to rejoin the field. The 10 getting one of his laps back, now just needing one more caution to get him back on the lead lap.
Yeah, this also puts Jeremy Line Watkins decided to stay out. Elected to not go into pits, and actually it looks like he's going to get a lap led. So he'll get that bonus point.
Yeah, not necessarily a bad move there, regardless if he stayed out for the bonus point or not. If these guys are not worrying about tires at all, which it doesn't sound like they are, if he's got enough fuel to make it to the end, you might as well stay out there, keep that track position, regardless if he can go back to the front that quick. At least he's restarting where he wants to be. He's got clean view in front of him. He can just get right down to the bottom and be the lead car for once.
Yeah, he's definitely in position.
Meantime, we will go ahead and bring in Kevin Foster one more time and get a little picture from the guy that caused the caution that time. Kevin, just were you looking for maybe a move there outside of Paul Butler and didn't realize that Adam was there, or that you thought you were maybe clear to sneak up behind Adam and just clicked him in the back end?
Yeah, I was just following Paul, and I thought the 71 came up a little bit. I think I might have moved right. I don't know if it was my fault, and actually, got into Adam, but I'll take the blame if it was my fault.
Yeah, a little rough situation there. And was there any kind of damage to the car that you need to get repaired there? Are you still pretty good? You still think you're okay on speed for the end here?
I came in and used my fast repair. I didn't know what kind of damage was done, so I came in, used the fast repair, so the car's clean, and we got 9 laps here, and gonna drive it from the back to the front.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you used the fast repair on that first incident that you're involved in, so good thing you still had it. But
Yes,
10
sir.
laps to go here. I mean, we've seen you guys easily be able to go, back to front. So you think it's gonna be another easy situation here? You think you're gonna maybe hold off, or you're gonna make that move early, or you're gonna hold your cards to your vest here?
No, I'm gonna lay all the cards on the table, sir.
All right, sounds good. We know you're gonna certainly go for the win if it's there. So good luck out there. Keep it clean. Let's see a good run here to the end.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Before
All
we
right,
go
once again,
go back to green, before we go back to green here, Jeremy Line Watkins is currently first, with Avi in second, Paul Butler's in third, Tim Thompson in fourth, Dane Simpson in fifth, Paul Owens is now in sixth, John Crane, which got his lap back, he is now in seventh. Adam Jones, looks like he got his car repaired, is in eighth. And we've seen him go from the back to the front before, with Kevin Foster in ninth, as he's ducking down in the pits to get anything that he needed to get fixed or replaced. It looks like some tires. And Matt Crockett in 10th.
And right now we have 10 to go. So these guys looks like the pace car lights are off. So we're gonna go green here with 9 to go. Jeremy Line Watkins is your leader. He is going to be the control car to start this thing off. And this is one of those situations where it doesn't necessarily maybe pay to be the car that starts the race here, because you don't really want to jump out to a big lead, because if you jump out to a big lead, you're setting yourself up to get just freight trained by guys if they don't want to stay with you and help you, and maybe just go right around the outside of you. So you almost kind of want to get a decent enough start to get ahead of the guy on the outside, but you want to draw the guys in behind you as well.
Yeah, the only thing about being on the bottom is you don't have to worry about anybody going to your left. as long as you're hugging the white line. So if he can keep that run up, he can just maintain control of that bottom, and at least put him in a position of, you know, hopefully getting a podium.
Well, he wastes no time. He does get out to a nice big lead. He cuts off the outside line, putting Vishuvasham right behind him, and Owens jumping down to the inside of Thompson there. He will jump into the third spot. Thompson right now will dive down to the inside a little bit at least, you know, thinking about staying on the outside, but he will fall in line in fourth, Butler in fifth, and already the 46 making moves, trying to get back out to the front as Vishuvasham, with a little bit of help from Paul Owens, now looking to get to the lead.
He's definitely got to do it the hard way, where Paul Owens got underneath him, and now he's up on the high side with Adam Jones, as Adam Jones is looking to the outside of Avi and make this thing, looks like 3 wide going across the start finish line.
Yeah, you see these guys making a little bit stronger moves right now. You see these cars darting around a lot faster. It's go time here at Homestead, Miami. We've got 8 laps to go, and all friendships are out the door. You may use somebody to try and get to the front, but then I'm sure you're going to leave him right out to dry. 4 wide coming down the backstretch here, as Owens will drop down to the inside, take the lead. 3 wide for second. 8 car falling back a little bit of Foster, but he is back out there. He is clean, so he still clearly has the speed out there. As Line Watkins pushing Owens down the front stretch, getting a little dicey back there between the 8 and 08. As the 8 of Foster are going to drop back a little bit, fall in line. And there is the 11 of John Crane back in the picture, back in with his group. Certainly loving to see some friends around him that will be there for now, but he's going to want to see them in the rearview mirror pretty soon. 7 to go down the backstretch right now, and you see these guys all over the place. Those lights shining bright right now. Everybody surprisingly still has them with all the bump drafting they've been doing.
Yeah, they've been putting their bumpers to the test, the stress test tonight. Good thing they don't have any airbags. Whoa!
And another incident coming out of the corner. That's going to give us another caution. It's going to be good. I don't see the 10 involved. It's going to be good for him, as he will be able to get his other lap back if he wasn't involved in the wreck. Let's take a look at it, as it looks like it's certainly between the 08 and 05. We'll try and bring that back one more time. And I think we just need to rewind a little bit. We're already involved in the wreck here. Really tough for the 08. He had a tough night. You know, he had his little bit of time up front, but looks like he just came right down into the 05 right there. And unfortunately, our points leader get involved in another one. Looks like he somehow avoided the other cars. So would you know, really like to see that maybe from the cockpit of the 77, just to see how the 77 got through that melee right there. That was certainly pretty crazy right there. But unfortunately, these guys, you know, really rough situation right there. As you see the 08 starting the incident right there. We'll try and take you on board right now with Paul Butler and show you how close it was, as the 8 just turned sideways directly in front of him. And this is just one of those situations right there. You're not waving at your friend. You're trying to figure out a way to get by, and you see he just barely gets around him, and you see having to really counter-steer that car to get around him. So great driving right there by the 77 of Paul Butler and the 10 of Matt Crockett, as you see him peeking into your screen right there. He was able to avoid the incident. He is back on the lead lap. The car sitting down there on its front bumper, the 08, is going to be done for the night the way it looks. Way too much damage involved in just one too many incidents tonight. So really a shame to see, but he will be done for the night. The 8 of Kevin Foster now going to have to come from the back once more. We're going to be inside 5 laps. There's only going to be a couple laps left. The pace car lights are still on, as we have 5 to go right now. It'll be 4 to go at the line, so we'll see if they'll get the 1 to go this time by.
Yeah, it was definitely what Matt Crockett was looking for, to put him back on the lead lap, and now currently in 8th place after sitting in 10th. So definitely something he was looking for, as the 05 is back out on the track. As he comes back around, I'm sure, to catch back up. So Little tough break there for Tim, but it looks like he still had his fast repairs. His car is back in shape, and he's trying to quickly catch back up to the field as he has about 3/4 of a track to make up before they go green.
We'll bring in Kevin Foster right now, coming in again as your points leader, and certainly not the cleanest of nights right now. And I guess the only question on that incident right there, really nothing you could do is you got tagged in the back end. But were you able to give Paul Butler a little wave as you were facing him coming out of turn 4 there?
Yeah, kind of did a 360 there, and Paul slid around me, but didn't hit anything. So it's good. But the good thing is, came in, got 4 tires. So I'm the first one on fresh tires. Those guys got some laps on their tires and some heat. So we're gonna stick it on the outside and see what happens.
Yeah, that certainly was interesting to watch. We watched it from a couple of views, and finally from the view of Paul Butler, who did a great job avoiding you, and as well as the 10 of Matt Crockett diving out of the inside, and they just kind of let you go right through the middle. But certainly a little scary moment there with 10 to go. But you are set up now to make a run here at the line. So I will let you go for one last time, and maybe we'll be talking to you as a podium position if you can run through the field here.
Oh, absolutely. I'll see you in a couple laps.
Sounds good, buddy. Good luck out there, man.
Later.
Once again, that was the 8 of Kevin Foster. Certainly get a lot of airtime here as the interest reporter, as these guys have been really dicey out here tonight, causing a few incidents. And, everybody's still out there except for the 08 of Vishwavasham, who unfortunately was just involved in a little bit too much. He had some good runs out there, but just unfortunate situations. That last one was, on him, that he came down onto the 05. But luckily, again, like Jimmy said, the 05 back out there, he's got a chance yet at a good finish. These guys are double file. I'm not going to say that was the last caution. We still got some, some green white checkers out there, but this one is going to be your, unofficial first green white checkered, as they're going to get the green right here with 2 to go. Jimmy, do you have any picks here, or is it just pretty much a crapshoot at this point?
Them guys moving around so much, it's really hard to single one person out. But, with the tenacity of John Crane sitting back there in 6th place, I think maybe he has a shot. He was able to stay in front of everybody while they battled. Let's see if he can bring this thing to the front and get himself another core victory.
It would certainly cap off a pretty good month here already for John Crane. Looks like, again, friends are out the window at this point. We're 2 to go down the backstretch. We'll see if these guys can keep it clean, as we need to get the white flag for it to be official. Looking to go 3 wide to get into each other a little bit as the 96 gets into the 46. Everything is still clean. Jeremy Lyon Watkins on the outside. That 8 is starting to make a move, though. He is up there 3 wide battling for 3rd.
Definitely going, because these guys take the white flag as Adam is on the rear bumper of Jeremy Lyon Watkins, maybe trying to push his friend around for the last lap and maybe make a move on him, as John Crane is in 3rd place in front of Dane Simpson on the inside as they exit turn 2.
Looks like Crane trying to break up that little bit of tandem right there, and that could give the chance out there to Dane Simpson as he puts a 3 wide on the outside. They're getting into each other again, 4 wide. Your points leader getting involved. They're sideways. Half the field getting taken out. We're going to have a run down the line. Crane looking to the outside of Lyon Watkins off the corner. Who's it going to be? They get together. Still getting together, and it looks like it's going to be Jeremy Lyon Watkins with the victory. Crane coming across sideways for 2nd. Simpson in 3rd. I guess somehow ahead of Paul Butler. What a run to the line by these guys. I think just about everybody get involved in a little bit of something there in the last lap.
Good. That one's too early. let's go. Let's go back. Let's go back here. It's still
Here's
too
your
early.
run to the line here, as Crane doing everything he can to get the outside and then try to get back to the inside. Unfortunately, that collects Butler. And looking at that right there, I'm not sure how Butler actually finished ahead of Crockett, as Crockett was on top of him. But, wow. I mean, a great run by Jeremy Lyon Watkins, and absolutely what he needed. Looks like Crane came down to try and get his side draft, but Lyon Watkins was up a little bit higher, and that initiated the contact. And then it looks like maybe Crane thought about diving down to the inside, but Butler was there, swiped across his nose. That sent him up into Crockett. And yeah, that's pretty crazy. As it looks like Simpson was pretty much the only other one that kept it straight. As looks like Crane is ready for a drifting competition there coming across the line. He will get credited with second place. So great comeback for him. As you know, for the longest time he was just out there by himself. A shame to see Butler get involved there and finishing. He actually did finish in fifth. I apologize, as Crockett was able to get ahead of him there at the line. So good job from both of those guys. You know, the two guys that we said were all by themselves end up coming back and finishing second and
Fifth,
not sure. Yeah, second and
fourth,
fourth.
fourth, second or fourth. Yeah.
Second and fourth. So great job by them out there. Your points leader getting involved in the wreck, but he was actually the looks like the one that made it out of that the best. He was able to come home in sixth place, so maybe a little damage limitation right there. But what a finish by these guys once again. And I guess I'll take a little bit of breather here as we start getting ready to pull these guys down in for the interviews. And
These
Jimmy,
guys
do you got
just
anything? I'm kind of out of words.
these guys just sees the just put on that last lap show, and I don't know, I'm sure frustration's kind of getting away a little bit as those accidents are happening. And with races like these, essentially like a mini Daytona with the cup cars, but just slower, a little bit slower, in cars that you can kind of handle when you get tagged a little bit. But the finishes have just been insane, as you can see there at the end. Crockett was able to pull off a fourth over Paul, literally, as he was riding on Paul's hood as he was crossing the finish line. So these guys are just, they battled the whole race. When it comes down to it, they got elbows up, elbows flying, and, good thing these guys aren't in a bar, because I'm sure fists would be swinging.
Well, I mean, it's as much as I think so. These guys clearly had a lot of fun out there. So we're gonna actually go ahead and bring in Matt Crockett first. He was the guy that was able to come back in finish in fourth, as we said, on top of Paul Butler. But doesn't matter how you get it done; it's just that you get it done. But that's got to be one hell of a fourth place finish. And considering where you were with about 20 laps to go, 2 laps down, did you ever think that this was going to be possible here?
No.
Yeah, that's pretty much the answer I was expecting. I mean, it looked like it was just an uphill battle. It looked like you were out there driving all by your lonesome, 2 laps down. Crane was all by himself, trying to hang on to the lead lap, and to see you guys finish second and fourth, that is one hell of a comeback for you guys.
Yeah, that first accident I had to tow. Couldn't even drive at all. So that alone was a 4-minute tow. So I was like, oh, great. And then coming out of that turn four, honestly, if they wouldn't have wrecked there, I honestly probably could have gotten third or second. Who knows?
Either way, one hell of a comeback. Great job finishing fourth out there. Anybody you want to send a shout out to before we let you out of here?
Shout out to my parents, my wife, my kid, everybody that lets me do this. Liquid Death for allowing me to run their logos. Utah Foster Care for allowing me to run their logos in series and stuff like that. And thank you, Core and Carl and Jimmy. And that was fun. That was insane.
Yeah, that's certainly one that I'm looking forward to rewatching over and over again. So I'm sure you guys had a blast out there. But good job out there tonight. Way to stick with it. Way to hang in there, and way to never give up and finish in the top 5, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, I took a picture of it. It kind of looks like the cars of Lightning McQueen kind of reaching out his tongue. That's kind of what it looks like, the tire reaching out right at the finish line. So it's kind of funny looking. But yeah, thank you guys.
Well, it looked like you tried to pull a little lightning and maybe jump off of Paul Butler's tires there as you went on by him too. So either way, good job out there, buddy.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
All right, that was the 10 of Matt Crockett, your fourth place finisher. Jimmy, I'll let you go ahead and bring in our third place finisher, Dane Simpson.
Hey, Dave, Jimmy, Carl up in the booth. You copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Hey, it was one heck of a finish out there tonight, and the whole race. I mean, you guys are just battling tooth and nail, back and forth, front to back, and I mean, you pulled out a podium finish for the third place, and a crazy finish there. So, can you give us a little bit of your rundown of your race?
I mean, the finish there was a case of sometimes you're good, sometimes you're lucky, and I just got lucky as they were battling so hard there to slip around. But the strategy coming in tonight, was to just make it to the end. We got through without using the fast repair, hung around in the back a little bit, kind of got used to how fast the draft pulled up, and then yeah, Owens just kind of pushed me on up to the front there.
I guess that would be a good shout out there to Mr. Owens, as your rival Abby didn't do so well tonight as he finished in the pits. So that has to give you a little good feeling there, as that rivalry is always steaming up where you guys been finishing back and forth.
Yeah, it's always a healthy rivalry. He and I go back and forth and talk lots throughout the week, but there's definitely some competitiveness there. It's nice to edge him out every once in a while.
Yeah, at least you can rub it in a little bit further until the next 2 weeks to the next race, and we'll see you guys back out on the track and definitely going at it again. So, is there anybody would you like to give a shout out before you go on?
Yeah, definitely. Big shout out, like we said, to Owens for pushing me up to the front there. To you guys for doing the broadcast. You guys do an awesome job, and just everybody in the league.
All right, and again, congratulations on the third place finish, and we'll be talking to you soon.
Thank you.
That was your third place finisher, Dane Simpson. Now we will bring in the guy that I still don't know where the hell he came from, as he was driving around by himself, just kind of minding his own business, and maybe just kind of getting some test laps in, like he was just in his own little test session for the longest time. Got to see the caution to bring him back into the field, and then he just marched right through the field, finishing second. One hell of an effort to get the win there. Unfortunately, he came up second, and doing it sideways. Still got to feel good considering where you were coming toward the end of the race there.
Yeah, I had to go down pit road twice because I had a tire vibration. That's what put me out of pace from everybody. But yeah, that was just staying the throttle and drifted across the finish line.
Well, it's funny you mentioned about being off pace from everybody, because that's one thing that we were actually talking about. We've seen you out there. We were looking at the track map. We've seen you pretty much staying consistently an entire turn ahead of the entire field, and we figured it was just a matter of time till their draft closed you in and just ate you up really quickly. But you were just out there plugging away, and maybe them battling so much actually hurt them because they weren't really able to catch you.
Yeah, I was trying to put down fast laps. I was trying to use the wall for drafting. I was, dive bombing the corners off the wall. I was trying to get any little advantage I could possibly have to stay in front of those guys.
Well, it certainly worked out. You got back to the field there, and then you marched your way through. We seen you in third, seen you make the move to the outside there, and then start trying to make a move. And it looked like you tried to get a little side draft on Line Watkins coming out of four, but you guys bumped a little bit, and that sent you a little bit sideways. And was that pretty much the last chance that you had with him?
Yeah, that was last chance. I think there was a little bit of net code there that sucked us together and then split us apart. And unfortunately, Paul got the brunt end of that when I came back down. I had some left front damage that put me sideways. So yeah, I just stayed on the throttle, drove it across the finish line.
Well, either way, I'll say the same thing to you that I said to Matt Crockett. Hell of a job staying in it, hell of a job persevering, and just waiting for your opportunity to get you back up to the field, and then definitely make the best of it, finishing second. So this is it's starting to be a pretty good month for you, in core in general.
Yeah, oh, it's April. It's my wife's birthday month. June's mine, so watch out for me in June.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. So there you go, everybody. Watch out for Crane coming next month. He's starting to find his groove here. So anybody other than your wife here, you want to send a shout out to?
Just everybody in core. Thank you for challenging me every week in, week out. It's making it really fun. And I'm really digging the MX5. I know a bunch of the other guys are. Hopefully it sticks around for a while.
All right, sounds good, buddy. Well, one hell of a comeback once again, and you keep doing this, we'll definitely be talking to you soon.
All right, sounds good.
That was the 11 of John Crane, once again, with just a great comeback to finish second. But the guy that didn't really need to make a comeback right now is Jeremy Lyon Watkins. Jimmy, why don't you go ahead and take our winner here?
Hey, Jeremy, this is Jimmy and Carl up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey, buddy. I mean, you did a great job staying out of trouble tonight. You were in one heck of a dogfight with the leaders pretty much the whole race. kind of drifted back a little bit every now and then and got yourself down to that inside, to start the last few laps. Can you take us a walk, or walk us through your race and the finishing laps?
Well, I knew. Well, I shouldn't say I knew anything on the restarts. It was going to be if I could get a jump and stay up there. I might have been able to control uh, how everybody was doing, but I really don't run that way very often. That last restart, when I jumped, I got too big of a run, and I was like, I might be in trouble. And somehow Adam Jones squeezed down from P4 back to me, and I kind of figured once he was behind me and giving me the push that I was going to be in good shape as long as I don't screw it up. And here I am.
Yeah, you definitely didn't screw it up. But, he did come down and he gave you that push. I thought maybe he was gonna push you to the win, and or maybe try to push you to the point where he can slingshot around you and maybe capture that win for himself. But good job holding on to the car. You put up an awesome fight tonight. You put yourself in that and on the podium. P1. So another good win for you here in the MX5 series.
Yeah, thanks. I'm trying to catch Kevin. I don't know how far back that puts me now, but now I got to work a little bit harder than normal. Normally, I'm just kind of happy with the top 5, but now that I'm close, I actually have to start working at it.
Yeah, this will definitely close down the points.
Now, yeah, coming in with a first at Charlotte, a second at Myrtle Beach, now first here at Miami Homestead. You're on one hell of a tear right here. So I think Kevin's got to be the one that's worried, not you.
Well, I don't know what's next. Myrtle Beach is one of my favorite tracks, so that was one that I had marked down and was looking forward to. Tonight, I wasn't sure what to expect. I knew it was going to be pack racing, but wasn't sure how the car would do, and man, it handled great.
Yeah, definitely put you up there.
Yeah, in 2 weeks here we go to Richmond, and certainly gonna be a little different than this one. Is that a track that you think may suit you since you like the kind of short trail ovals like Myrtle Beach?
I hope so. Hopefully it'll do away with a little bit of the pack racing and let us race the car. I know it's a big track for these little cars, but there still may be a little bit of drafting in there. But I'm more one that I like the car by itself. I like the help, but I like the car by itself.
That's the questions that I had for him, Jimmy. You got anything else for him?
No, I mean, like I said, again, congratulations on a first place finish, and obviously we want to give you the opportunity to give any shout outs if you have any tonight.
All right. First of all, my wife, that's every day, every night. I thank her for everything. She makes it possible for me to do this. She kind of does her thing and lets me do mine. Again, Cincinnati Children's. I'll be there this coming Saturday. So I actually have to go through some of our videos to make sure what's clean and what's not clean, so some of the kids can watch. I know a couple of the races that we've had, there was some come over the broadcast by accident. So I'll get to go see those kids on Saturday. Spend the afternoon with them, get to show them some videos, and just have a good time. Finally, first time in 2.5 years that we get to go. So it's something to look forward to. I want to thank you guys for the broadcast and thank you for setting everything up here with Core. Of course, I can't say enough thanks to Adam for helping me out in 2 races with the bump draft, and we've done it enough together. We kind of know where we can and can't get together. So yeah, that's big thanks to him as well, and all the other guys. It was a good race tonight. It was a good clean race. I think there were some mistakes in the back. That's pack racing. That happens.
Yeah, again,
absolutely one hell of an effort. Go ahead, Jimmy.
as I lost train of thought. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, it's pack race and anything can happen. So, again, tell if you get them kids, we wish them the best here from Core. As you're watching the videos, and we're thinking about them, and it's good that you finally get a chance after, a few years to actually get in there and to, put a smile on their face and make their day.
No, thank you. I'll make sure they know.
Yeah, one hell of an effort there tonight, and you were pretty much one of the only ones that you did the opposite of what you normally do. Normally, you're kind of the one hanging in the back, letting everything else happen. But tonight, it looked like you were just locked onto that front, and whether you were right behind the leader on the inside line or you were the leader on the inside line, you were up there pretty much the entire time. You didn't want to mess around with that going back and forth from the front to the back. So great job tonight, and yeah, I mean, gotta say you are by far the hottest driver right now in the MX5 series, with 2 wins and a second place in the last 3 races, and that will certainly close in the points battle, and possibly even give it to you with Kevin falling all the way back there to 6th place tonight. So it'll certainly be close, and coming in with 3 races left, you are certainly going to be one that he's going to be looking out there for, and he's going to have to try and turn this streak around and maybe try and knock you off your pedestal.
Yeah, well, I could very easily knock myself off of it. So, uh, just dumb mistakes. Occasionally, you get them long runs, and your mind kind of wanders on you. So, lucky tonight it was close enough, but I had to keep an eye on everything going on around me. There was never a free time up there in the front tonight.
I don't think it was a free time in the front, back, middle. I don't even know if it was free on pit lane. The crews are probably just watching everything out there and just shaking, waiting for the car to come in there with damage. So great job by you, great job by everybody out there tonight. So you keep this up. Well, we'll obviously be talking to you pretty soon, and maybe even in 2 weeks here at Richmond.
All right, thank you guys.
All right, that was your winner, the 71 Jeremy Watkins, on one heck of a streak here, Jimmy. I mean, he's got to be scaring Kevin now. I mean, it's whether he's got the lead or not. Kevin's really got to start worrying about the 71 catching up to him.
Yeah, Kevin's one of them drivers, he's real confident in his driving, and, unfortunately tonight he got caught up in a couple incidents. So, when Lady Luck's not on your side, then that point, advantage that you come into these races can go away, and she's been trimming at him. So, we'll see how Kevin reacts in 2 weeks at our next race there at Richmond, and we'll see if he can pull one out of the hat, and maybe tone Jeremy down a notch or two, and see how, and take this thing to the finish, and try to be the series champion.
3 weeks to go, as in 2 weeks we go to Richmond for 100 laps. 2 weeks after that, Nashville Fairgrounds for 125 laps, and then the finisher 2 weeks after that at Kansas. And if Kevin has any kind of chance at the championship, whether he's leading or not, he's gonna love that this series is finishing at Kansas. So that is that is kind of the unofficial home track of Core, and I know Foster loves when we go to Kansas. So he will certainly be looking for the finisher there, but I'm sure he's going to try and look to put the finishing move on Line Watkins and the rest of the field before that. But Line Watkins not going away clearly, as he is averaging 1.3 as his finish over the last 3 races. Can't really get much better than that. I guess he's got to maybe hunt down Ricky Gonzalez, who took that win away from him at Myrtle Beach, or he would have had 3 in a row. But great race by these guys. I mean, I can't say enough. It was a little bit of carnage here and there from this, but like we say, it's pack racing. But these guys battling from the drop of the green flag for 60 laps, going 3 wide, 4 wide, diving in and out. It was just crazy out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm entertained. Hopefully everybody else that's watching is entertained, because this is just, it's enjoyment. I mean, it's, these are people that we talk to, people that we race with, in other series, and, just to broadcast this for these guys so they can go back and watch and hear the quirky stuff we say about them, or just watch their race. I mean, it's fun. I'm having a blast up here.
I think it really goes to show you that regardless if you have 10 guys in their field or 40, you can still put on a heck of a show, and that's what these guys are doing week in and week out. We never have that many guys in the field all at one time, especially for the Mazda MX5 Oval Series here. But these 10 guys out here put on a heck of a battle the entire night, and you can't say enough about it. I mean, they just did one heck of a job. They do it week in and week out, and I'm already looking forward to Richmond in 2 weeks. It's going to be a heck of a show. I know it. So that's going to do it for us tonight. Our next broadcast for the CRN Core Racing Network is going to be this Thursday as we're back in the Vintage Cup Series. This Thursday is going to be at the Pocono Raceway for the season ender. 40 laps there on tap, and we'll see if Chris Hamilton can maybe put a little exclamation point on his championship season already, as he has already locked up the point standings. So maybe see if he can get one more win, or see if some guys that didn't get the championship will, get their elbows out and show them who's boss for this last race. But that one is going to be ending this Thursday, and couple weeks in between, and then we will get another season started back up, because these guys definitely love the Vintage Cup Series, and we love broadcasting them. It's a blast to watch those guys. Next Monday night is going to be back in the Lucas Oil Multi-Class Series, as we are going to head to USA, the dirt version of it, for a twin 30-lap feature. So two 30-lap races on tap next Monday night with the Lucas Oil Multi-Class Series. Certainly going to be fun to watch these guys throw it sideways on that flat little, if it's a 3/4 mile oval or half-mile oval. So once again, I mean, not to toot our horn, but we've been putting on just some crazy racing. It doesn't matter if it's Monday night or Thursday nights. So if you're not entertained, then honestly, you're not a race fan. I mean, it's just been unbelievable. Love to see the support from you guys that are out there watching, from Barry, Ricky, Rich, everybody that's out there watching. We appreciate you guys. Again, if you like what we're putting on there, make sure you like the videos, make sure you subscribe to get to everything that we're putting out there. Both for myself and Jimmy up here in the booth. That's going to do it for us tonight from Homestead, Miami. And we will be back again on Thursday, and we will see you at the track.
Peace.